It's been 16 races since we began the season at the Daytona International Speedway, and now only 2 races remain here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. And the championship fight is still on, and we say that because here we are at the second Superspeedway event of the season. This is the Talladega Superspeedway. Nobody is safe here on this 2 2/3 mile Superspeedway in Talladega, Alabama. It's going to be a wild race for the penultimate race of the season here in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Let's see how it all goes down. Will we get a new winner here today? Will Blaine Keyes pull away and clinch the championship? Will Kocsmar close in? Will Samudio still have a shot going in the homestead on Christmas Day? All of those questions will be answered in 24 laps. It's the Cookout 250 here from Talladega in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Talladega Superspeedway for the 17th and penultimate race of the season here in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. And it has all come down to this race right here, the finale at Homestead in a week and a half on Christmas Day. This race is going to prove very pivotal to how that finale race is going to shake up. We could see the Drivers' Championship clinch today. It is possible if Blaine Keyes leaves this race with a 41-point lead, no, 42-point lead or higher. 42 is going to be it because of that pole point that you get. He is going to clinch the Turkey Hill Truck Series Championship here today. Otherwise, it goes in the homestead. Kocsmar only 24 points behind. Samudio 49 points behind. Still has an opportunity to put himself in contention going in the homestead next week. But it does look like it's going to be between Blaine Keyes and Kocsmar for this Drivers' Championship. And what you know, in qualifying, Kocsmar is going to start 20 positions ahead of Blaine Keyes here in this one this afternoon. Will he be able to finish there? That is the big question. Join alongside Matt Tuck as always here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. And Matt, this race is going to play out so much different in terms of who's strong and who's not in comparison to a lot of the other races we've seen this season. We see very different faces run strong in these super speedways each and every season. How do you think it's going to play out, and who do you think has the advantage here today in this 24-lap race at Talladega?
Well, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, started the season when we had that absolutely massive accident at Daytona, and then we saw Zachary Fitzwater somehow pull off a victory. Barring another massive accident, I don't think we're going to see something like that today. I think you're going to see some trucks that, have some good pace, but are maybe more tailored to this type of racetrack. I pay your attention to the front row of Roberto Crown Jr. and Avery Alford. Should be a lot of fun here to watch. But it's going to be exciting. I mean, you got Kocsmar and Keyes in different starting positions. Kocsmar way up at the front of the field. Blaine's obviously at the back of the field. But it's the Truck Series here at Talladega. It always plays out a little bit different than Cups. And that second plate race always plays out more... It's not as chaotic usually as the first plate race. It's a much different race than what we saw back in August at Daytona. So it's going to be exciting.
Well, we haven't had the race yet, so we'll see if it ends up being any different than the race at Daytona. Of course, if you remember that one, we had a huge crash early on in the race. Trucks flipping through the air, and Zachary Fitzwater went on the victory lane. And 16 races later, here we are for the 17th race of the season. And this is how they line up in the championship standings with only 2 races left to go. Blaine Keyes, 495 points towards the championship. That is already more points than what Ladovic Strat had last year when she won the championship a year ago. And there's still 2 more races left to go in this season. Kocsmar is 24 points behind. Samudio is 49 points behind. And then you got Rogaldorn, 68 points behind. Agar Barretto, 83 points behind. All these drivers are kind of in their own positions now, and they have a pretty wide gap between the next drivers above and below them. So it's looking like that's going to be the top 5. Troxel could slip into the top 5 in points, but what ultimately matters is that Drivers' Championship. Blaine Keyes and Kocsmar sitting right there, 24 points apart coming into this race. But in qualifying yesterday, the driver who has never won a race on the channel before, and it's kind of hard to believe that that's the case for this driver. Roberto Crown Jr. winning the pole for this Cookout 250. They have had a very solid season there once again with Stover Motorsports, and they have another opportunity at finishing top 10 in the championship standings once again. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Alongside him there is the number 27 of Avery Alford, Stover Motorsports, locking up the front row for this race. A great effort out of Brad Stover's team right there for both of his drivers to start on the front row here today. In row number 2, Andrew Williams starts to the inside of Jesse Turner. That is Turner's first Fast 6 of the season. A great starting position for the Andrews Racing driver. And then Evans Ross Racing, both of the drivers made it into the Fast 6, but they did not have the single truck pace in the Fast 6. Kocsmar there starting 5th alongside his teammate of Thomas Troxel. Joe Rutkowski to the inside of Skep Silver. That is in row number 4. And then LJ Samedo to the inside of Christian Vargas rounds out the top 10 starting positions here tonight. Here today. We're recording it at night, but you folks are seeing it here on this glorious noon, Saturday, December 14th. 2 races left to go in the season. Let's see how it all goes down and get these drivers to roll off here from the Talladega Superspeedway. And Matt, I'm going to ask you the age-old question, but it might not be as easy to predict it here tonight. Who do you think is going to get this race victory, though, in this Cookout 250 here in the penultimate race of the season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series?
You know, I think today's race, it's going to be a lot like a good old SEC football game. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be chaotic. But at the end of the day, you know the best driver is going to win, and Blaine Keyes is going to win this race.
He's going for it. He's going for it. Blaine Keyes starts all the way back in 25th for this race here today. And I don't know how well he's going to do. Now, granted, he did win the Valvoline 400 in the Wall Walk Cup Series while driving for Racing Motorsports back in August. Kind of dominated that race as well. And that almost won him the championship. But Ludovic Charette had other ideas at Darlington the week after that. There's Blaine Keyes starting back in 25th. Nicholas Samudio, who's the other driver who still has a chance at this title. 49 points behind, but he's all the way back in the 31st. However, he is very good here at Talladega. He's won multiple cup races here at the Talladega Superspeedway in the past. We'll see what he can do there. Looking to get his 3rd win of the season. Blaine Keyes, of course, looking to win his 5th race of the season. Got the win last week at Martinsville, but this is a totally different animal than what we saw last Friday night. And anybody can go to victory lane here. But there are certain drivers that are going to have better trucks than others. And I think these 2 Stover Motorsports machines are going to be strong here today. There's a very good chance one of those 2 drivers could go to victory lane, but we'll just have to see how it all goes down. 24 laps, no pit stops, as always here at the Talladega Superspeedway. So the pit crews are out of the way, so maybe that's a good thing for you guys there at Team Velocitar here today. However, you never know when they're going to go 4 wide. We could end up with a wreck very early. We could go caution-free. You just don't know. That's why we race it, and we're going to find all that out here in 24 laps. Here we go. Green flag is about to fly. Roberto Crown Jr., Avery Alford on the front row. It's the penultimate race of the season in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series, and we're green flag racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Well, would you look at that? Leonard Kocsmar is taking advantage of this opportunity here today, all the way up to 2nd, but it's Andrew Williams leading lap number 1 here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Good jump there for Williams, and Roberto Crown Jr. was able to find their way on that inside lane right there. That inside lane is going to be very strong in this race here today, more so than we normally see at other racetracks, and Blaine Keyes trying to work his way on the inside lane. He is down in 24th at the moment. He does not want it to finish the way it currently runs right now. Let's just put it that way, because that means only going to be single-digit points going into Miami on Christmas Day. Joe Rutkowski to the inside of Leonard Kocsmar, though. Kocsmar stuck on the outside lane. Here's the Daytona winner. Going to move his way on the inside lane. Shane Lake swept the Super Speedways 2 years ago in 2022. Last year, this race was won by Rogel Dorn. Rogel Dorn's had a great season so far this year, but Andrew Williams is having a great race so far here today. And back-to-back laps led for the driver, the number 11.
Yeah, we're seeing early on, you're seeing a lot of trucks jostling for position from about 5th on back or so. As both the championship contenders are stuck in the outside lane here. But it looks like Andrew's got a really strong truck. Joe Rutkowski has a really fast truck here as well. Zachary Fitzwater, we have an OSC truck at the front of come in at the front of the field. That's always a surprise thing to see here. Brian Webb is moving his way out the bottom. So, I mean, you got some big names here coming to the front. Samudio, Laura Chung. The bottom lane is definitely the place you want to be. You got to be careful, though. Because you don't want to end up like Keyes and Kocsmar here and end up stuck on that outside and cycle back. As long as you don't end up crashed and you can keep the draft, it's not the end of the world, but timing is everything here at Talladega.
We got a pass for the race lead. Zachary Fitzwater to the inside of Andrew Williams. Fitzwater is going for his 30th career win on the channel, and he would then tie Samudio again for the top spot on the all-time wins list. Corey Case on the inside lane. Remember, he won the Dash for Cash over in the Sprint Series back in the spring, so you know he's got some talent there. Oh boy, Bruno Diagmo forcing it 4 wide there in the turn number 3, and Brian Webb taking advantage of that. However, plenty of room to get through that, and they're going to be 3 wide by the time they exit the corner. That could have been a lot worse than it ended up being. Good job out of those drivers, keeping it from becoming a massive accident. Got some new faces up front right here, though. Aaron Abel on the 25. You got Laura Chung right there, Matthew Hubert. How about Justin Zeidel in the top 10? His teammate Eric Monaco got the win around America earlier this season. I'm sure Justin would love to go to victory lane here today. Bryce Egan, Emily DeBenedetti, any of these drivers can get this win here today. Got Stapleton moving his way on the inside lane. And Kocsmar falling back in the 39. He is behind Blaine Keyes. However, the championship is not locked up yet for Blaine Keyes because he is only a couple of positions ahead of Kocsmar at the moment. Move back up front here. Aaron Abel looking to the inside for the race lead there on Brian Webb. Couple of shufflings going on right there. And Abel going to take it away. Here comes Laura Chung in the 4. And now we're really starting to see the classic Talladega shuffle here in this race, and a lot of guys swapping positions up front here as we're on lap number 5 going into lap 6 here in this Cookout 250.
I mean, look, we see Aaron Abel's cars up front in the Cup Series all the time here at Daytona and Talladega. Now we see Aaron Abel up front. It's like the man knows his way around super speedway. Great owner in general. He's got very accomplished here on the channel, but this man has absolutely been elite in the ratings era the past few years here on the channel at these super speedways. Matthew Huber in the 52. He's got help from Zeidel. The bottom lane is definitely, again, I keep saying it, the bottom lane is going to be the place to be. And this is the one thing I will definitely be interested to see as this race goes on. Are we going to start to see a touch of tire wear? I know we don't see it to the point where we're going to need pit stops, but this is the older Talladega. The track surface is still worn out. Will we see as this race goes on, maybe somebody get separated, a line start to break up, and the cycle pace of this line slow down a bit here. Front of this line, though, moving. Bottom line is pulled away here. As we are on lap 7, Aaron Abel got sent backwards, and the 2 championship contenders still, they're close to each other. Kocsmar's advantage that he had at the start of the race is nowhere near as well.
Skip Silver getting a little touch right there of Joe Rutkowski. That was some contact down the backstretch right there. What is he doing? Kocsmar was smart not to actually go to the inside because Skep had to come back down with that contact from Joe Rutkowski. And Kocsmar going to remain in this thing to the inside. Justin Zeidel took it away from Hubert up there. And then Emily DeBenedetti is going to slide to the inside and lead this lap. And we're seeing multiple lead changes a lap right here. We are not seeing what we saw in the Valvoline 400, where drivers are losing the draft. All 36 trucks still in the lead draft here, within 1.5 seconds of each other at the moment. It's still anybody's race here, a third of the way through this Cookout 250. Ludovic Charette, Rogel Dorn, moving their way on the inside lane. This would be the kind of race Ludovic would win now, wouldn't it? She doesn't have any chance at the Drivers' Championship, but you know what? Why not go for it and help the team out like Lando Norris did with McLaren in F1? I'm sorry I had to mention that, Matt. But that's kind of what it reminds me of, because they may not necessarily get the Drivers' Championship over there at Velocity if Kocsmar has a good race here today. But Ludovic could definitely help y'all in getting an owner's title here. Benettti's going to hold on and lead lap number 8. We're a third of the way through. Here comes Eric Monaco on the 28, looking to get his second win of the season. Caleb Rose, and the driver who didn't even get a lap in qualifying, Logan Williams, is now running top 5 here on lap 9.
No, if there was a type of race that somebody would come up and steal, this would be the Logan Williams race to steal. The man who's had some very fast cars over the past, over a year and a half now that we've had, 2 years. Yeah. All the ratings era, who's had some very fast cars, and he doesn't have the win total to show for it. But Benetti's going to go to the top side and get shuffled out, along with Dorn and along with Charette, Hamill. There's some fast trucks there on that top lane. Blaine Keyes is still in the middle of the back of the pack, but if this cycle does keep up, if you're Blaine Keyes, you don't want to be at the front of the pack right now. Like, if you're Keyes, Samudio, Webb, Barretto, you actually want to be in the back right now, because you don't want to cycle up to the front too soon and then get cycled about round and not have the time to make up that gap. But Skep Silver, who almost attempted to murder half the field a few laps ago, now running up here at the front of the field, and here comes Leonard Kocsmar. This is a big opportunity for Leonard here. There's a lot on the line for Leonard if he wins this championship. That's all I'm going to say.
And I'll say, if they finish the way they're currently running, Kocsmar would take the points lead going in the Homestead. And the thing is, too, with Leonard, he actually has the best average finishing position of the entire field this season. But Blaine Keyes has just won so many more races and won so many more poles and has all those bonus points to actually put that 24-point cap coming into this race. However, Kocsmar's going to slip back again. Here comes Philip Torres, Duncan Ward, Jeffrey Finguy. This is like we don't even have ratings in this race. The way these guys are shuffling through here today. However, there are certain drivers who I feel like have an advantage. And you got Andrew Williams and Roberto Crown Jr. who have shuffled their way back to the front. Duncan Ward going for third on Philip Torres. You got Matthew Burnett in the 14. We've barely mentioned Burnett all season. I almost forgot his name. That's sad. That's sad. I'm sorry.
That's terrible.
But here he is, looking to go top 5 in this 14 machine. For the team that is last in the owner's standings coming into this one, you got Duncan Ward making a move there. His teammate, both top 5 right now for Kyler Sustrai's team, the team that almost won the owner's title last year when they had Ludovic Charette driving for him. Meanwhile, Blaine Keyes back on the inside lane, trying to close back in on Kocsmar in this race. Trying to keep it so that he does not lose too much ground or even gains ground on the 39 machine. Always got to be careful here, though, as Eric Monaco and Ludovic Charette going to make it 4 wide with Skep Silver again. And they're going to be 4 wide down the backstretch, so they've got to be very careful of Ludovic Charette and Eric Monaco in the middle. And if they don't get out of this one, this isn't going to work out too well in the Constructors' title, that's for sure. Charette's still in the middle of 4 wide. Monaco has nowhere to go. Skep Silver going to step back a little bit there, and they're going to keep it together for now. They've done a great job in this race, avoiding a situation where they can't get out of that 4 wide. Duncan Ward has taken the race lead away. And this time by, we're going to be halfway through this Cookout 250. More 4 wide, and Kocsmar's in the middle of it right now.
That's not good.
Barretto is there as well. And we got a wreck right behind him. Fitzwater's around. Roberto Crown Jr. Blaine Keyes gets away with it. But Troxel's involved in this one. Rogaldorn, Zachary Fitzwater, Jack Haas, and Eric Monaco.
Ooh.
And Blaine Keyes, just like last week, barely avoiding this wreck. Can't tell if he's got any damage on that one machine or not. They're going to race back to the line right here. Duncan Ward holding on with Christian Vargas behind him. It's opposite day here at Talladega. Duncan Ward trying to get this race victory here today. He's got a good opportunity of doing so if he can win the race back here on Christian Vargas, and it looks like he will. Kocsmar got out of that one. Just barely, and so did Blaine Keyes, and they're both going to still be in this race, but Jack Haas, Zachary Fitzwater, they're out of it. Roberto Crown Jr., that's such a tough break for them. After winning this pole, I felt like they had a great opportunity of possibly winning here today. Not going to be the case. Eric Monaco, Road America winner, caught up in that one. The Daytona winner of Zachary Fitzwater, and last year's Talladega winner of Rogaldorn. Troxel as well with some damage. However, it wasn't too bad of a wreck in terms of the damage for those guys. I don't know, that one machine almost looks like he got a piece of that. It almost looks like there's some damage on that one machine. I can't quite tell. We'll see if he comes down the pit lane to repair it. That could be interesting right there if the one, though. That rear spoiler has bent up a little bit. He got something in the middle of that.
Well, he has a cushion now. Like, there are a couple trucks who are definitely going to be out of the race, so it doesn't change.
There's definitely a buckle on the hood there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this could be interesting. Well, let's see. Let's see what happened with Blaine Keyes there in that one machine and all those other drivers getting caught up. We'll actually let him drive through here and see if any of these guys come down the pit lane first, and then we'll review the accident. Of course, Blaine Keyes on the one. I have a suspicion that he may actually come down right here. Heck, I had the suspicion that he was going to get penalized last week when he passed the pace car on the caution lap. Now, I'm very glad he did not get penalized because he should not have been penalized for that, and he was not, and he got the win. And he's going to stay out there even with the buckle on the hood, so we'll see how that ends up working out for him. All right, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Multi-car pile up there in turn number 1, involving some of the best drivers from this season. Well, it was bound to happen at some point. So many four-wide instances in this race, and this one right here, they're not getting out of it. So many good drivers. All 3 of those guys on the inside, race winners, and then you add Blaine Keyes, all 4 of them, Jack Haas. That's 6 race winners this season getting caught up in this one, including then our pole sitter, Roberto Crown Jr. there. My goodness. Fitzwater, Troxel, Dorn, and you see what happened to Keyes. He just got a piece of that one. He did not come down the pit lane, but I'm not too confident that one machine is going to be up to speed with some of these other drivers. Monaco and Jack Haas also caught up in this one as well. And Fitzwater, he's going to be angry after that one. Troxel in the 93 caught up. Rogel Dorn as well. And then you got the 01 there of Roberto Crown Jr. That's the hardest one right there because Roberto, like I said, I felt like they had such a good opportunity to possibly win this race here today. Not going to be the case for him there. Excuse me. Not going to be the case for Roberto in the 01. Let's just put it that way. And tough break for that team. And Roberto, he's going to be multiple laps down once we get back going here. Such a tough break for him. But Duncan Ward won the race back to the line. We'll have to see what he does. But first, let's go ahead and replay that one more time.
Yeah, I mean, you watch here, 4 wide through the tri-oval, heading down into turn 1. We were about 2 truck lengths away from watching Kocsmar and Keyes be taken out, and we would have Nicholas Samudio would have really liked that. But I mean, both of them got away. Kocsmar got away clean. Keyes definitely got some damage. I mean, he's still going, so I guess that's at least a good thing. But that was very close to a disaster here.
Wasn't a disaster for Duncan Ward, though. He's going to win the race back to the line. And he's going to restart in the first position. Let's see what he does on said restart here in the Cookout 250 at Talladega. We are back here at the Talladega Superspeedway after that big wreck there in turn number 1. For Talladega standards in NR2003, that's actually a pretty mild wreck. I will say so myself. 2 drivers, actually. Only 2 drivers going to be knocked out from that one. Roberto Crown Jr. and Jack Haas. You see them both still on the pit lane. They're both a lap down. Everybody else, all 34 drivers still on the lead lap. Now, we saw what happened there with Blaine Keyes in the 1. The big question is, will there be enough damage to hurt his aero, and will he slip back? Leonard Kocsmar avoided it. He's got an opportunity here to close in on Blaine Keyes, maybe even take the points lead going in the Homestead on Christmas Day. That would be such a huge thing for that team if they could pull it off, especially considering they haven't even gone to victory lane yet this season. However, they have more top 5s than anybody this season coming into this race, and the best average starting is still Blaine Keyes, everybody, and it will remain that way until the end of the year, easily. But up front, we got Duncan Ward looking to play spoiler in the 18. Christian Vargas, Emily DeBenedetti, Caleb Rose, and Jesse Turner. You know it's a super speedway race. Avery Alford, Andrew Miller, Jeffrey Finguy, Matthew Burnett, and then Leonard Kocsmar rounds out the top 10. Going to be 9 laps to go when we cross the line next time by. Jack Haas is back out there in the 6. He's going to... Oh, they're both getting back out there. This could get interesting with those two guys.
That is not good.
We'll see how this ends up shaking out, because they're getting back out there now. Oh, brother. We're going to have a good one. Or a bad one, depending on who you are. 9 to go here at Talladega for Duncan Ward in the 18.
You know, the last time on the channel, not too long ago, we were on a big oval. I mean, it was no more than, what, 14 days ago or so. I mean, the last time we were out here on a big oval, I mean, there was a big wreck with about 12 laps to go, and some guy named Matthew Huber ended up, he ended up stealing the show, and I don't know where he's at right now. He's a little far back. But you never know. Never count out a guy who knows how to steal a win here, but Caleb Rose is moving his way to the front. He's got Avery Alford. The 01, I mean, they're going to catch both these trucks. I am curious to see how slow they are.
Speaking of slow, I think everyone's passing Blaine right here. That one machine fell way back on the restart. And he continues to get past here. And, you just can't have any damage on the super speedway here. And Blaine has it. And he is slipping back. And Kocsmar is moving his way through the field. Oh, boy. He was until they got to Roberto Crown Jr. right there. They'll try to pass them on the outside lane. Christian Vargas is going to do so, and then Crown's going to move up into the 39.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. Kocsmar is not going to be happy with that one. And he's still getting blocked by Roberto Crown Jr. Did y'all give some money there to that 01 team?
No, we would never do such a thing. We would never do such a thing.
Well, hey, Kocsmar is going to be a part of that whole Grattan Alliance when we get the Body Armor Light Series going on. He is still stuck behind the 01. That's a whole lap for him. He's going to finally get a nose to the outside and try to close back in. Blaine is back in this draft right here. But Kocsmar is going to finally clear Roberto as Blaine still struggles in the back of the field, but he still has enough speed to keep up with these guys in the draft. That might not be the last time we see Roberto Crown Jr. in this race, and it might not be the last time we see Jack Haas in this race, as Duncan Ward's done an excellent job getting around both of those drivers, and now he's pulling away. Caleb Rose, Jeffrey Finguy, Andrew Williams here, all trying to get around the number 6 machine. DeBenedetti is here as well in the 57. Avery Alford and Matthew Burnett. Oh, brother, these guys are blocking like crazy when they do not need to do so. This is going to get really interesting as this race moves along, because I don't think anyone's really safe at this point. Now, Blaine Keyes slipping back a little bit. He's still stuck behind Roberto Crown Jr. And Kocsmar, he's got himself about 12 positions on Blaine right now. That would be about 12 points going into Homestead. But Kocsmar stuck on the outside, slipping back just a little bit right there. Back to the lead. You got Caleb Rose in the back bumper of Duncan Ward right here. And we've got 7 laps to go here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Actually, 6 laps to go here in this Cookout 250.
I think the biggest question here at the front of this field is, are these two broke boys garage teammates, Andrew Williams and Caleb Rose, going to play nice with each other and try and work their way around this 18 truck? Because if this pack reforms, at the moment, I think you're only going to get 6 or 7 trucks in this lead draft, of which one of them is an OSC truck. I don't know if that 58 truck has enough pace to get around the top 3 here. I mean, you got Matthew. Now, this pack could catch him. But they keep racing each other. It's going to give those lead guys some more time to just try and build themselves a little bit of a buffer here as Kocsmar goes to the inside of Jack Haas. Seidel, Stapleton, finally Haas gets out of the way and stays on the outside lane here. But we're inside of 5 to go. I mean, this is the pressure's on here for all these drivers here. But I mean, Duncan Ward, Andrew Williams, Caleb Rose out in front here. Boy,
there he goes, Andrew.
This would be crazy.
Andrew Williams to the inside for the race lead. He won twice last year, and he wants to go back to victory lane this year. He's 15th in the championship standings. Caleb Rose is 13th. Both of those drivers have had an excellent season. All things considered, they did not get off to a good start this year at all. But right now, they're 1-2 here at Talladega. I'm sure Braden Perez is loving this one right here for his team. And Williams takes the 4-to-go signal here in the Cookout 250. Next time by, it's the point of no return, so they better not wreck again, or otherwise we're ending this thing a lap early. And how about Kocsmar moving his way back inside the top 10 right here? Or close to it, at least. He's pushing Jesse Turner there in this main draft, while Blaine Keyes is still considerably off the pace and way behind. He doesn't even have any drafting partners right here. And Blaine all the way back in 30th right now Kocsmar is going to bring this thing within single digits going into the finale the way it's looking like right now, but Kocsmar's got to be careful not to get shuffled too far back. Every point is so critical going in the Homestead, and if he's got single digits on Keyes, he has a chance at doing so on Christmas Day. That's all I know. But up front, Andrew Williams holding on to the race lead. Duncan Ward, Jeffrey Finguy getting around Caleb Rose. Avery Alfred still on this one. Outside pole sitter here for Stover Motorsports. And you also got Emily DeBenedetti, Matthew Burnett looking to join this lead draft with 3 laps to go here at Talladega.
Yeah, the more these trucks battle side by side, the easier it's going to be for Andrew Williams to control this draft. But as I say that, Duncan Ward's going to get the run of his life to the inside of the 11 truck down the back straightaway. He's got a huge push from the 27 of Alford and the 57 of DeBenedetti, and to the lead, Duncan Ward. This would be a huge upset here for Beacon Quantum Racing. I mean, their driver, Ludovic Charette, won the Drivers' Championship last year. You got to give credit to Duncan. He has had some moments this season where he has shown some absolute brilliance. But as a whole, this has not been the season that Beacon Quantum Racing was hoping for. And this would be a great way, despite an unfortunate season for them, this would be a really cool moment for them if Duncan Ward is able to hold on and pull this off.
Well, the thing with the championship at this moment, we know Leonard's going to gain at least probably 10 points on Blaine Keyes, so it's still going to be a lot closer going in the Homestead than when we came into this one. But Kocsmar has an opportunity at getting up to the 10th position. He's not going to win this race, but he is in this main draft right here in the middle of the running order. And we'll have to see if he can find his way back to that inside and maybe move up a few more positions. But we're going to focus on the race lead from here on out. Duncan Ward leading this field, and they're going to close in on Rogaldorn and Eric Monaco, a couple of other drivers who were caught up in the accident. Caleb Rose on the inside of Avery Alford there for second, but it's the white flag for Duncan Ward here at Talladega in the Cookout 250. Will Caleb Rose have enough? Will Duncan Ward be able to get around the lap cars cleanly? That is the big question. If he doesn't, Caleb Rose, Emily DeBenedetti, they're right here. Where's Duncan going to go? To the outside of Rogaldorn right there. DeBenedetti to the inside. It's like the Cup race all over again. Caleb Rose is going to stick with Duncan Ward on that outside lane. DeBenedetti's going to get held up by Monaco, and it's either going to be the 33 or the 18. Duncan Ward in the 18 machine won a couple of races in the Sprint Series over the summer. Looking to get his 3rd career win on the channel, his 1st in the Truck Series. And Eddie's going to be happy about this one. Duncan Ward is going to get around the lap traffic cleanly and win the Cookout 250 here at Talladega. And in the back, Leonard Kocsmar is going to finish in the 20th position. Blaine Keyes is going to finish 30th. It's 14 points between Keyes and Kocsmar going into Homestead. That could have been a lot worse for Blaine, all things considered, but he still has a considerable gap going into the Wawa 250 on Christmas Day as he officially finishes right there in the 30th position. How about Duncan Ward? An upset win. Absolutely an upset win here today. But Duncan Ward had a strong truck at the end of that one, and he earned it here in this Cookout 250.
No, that was, you had Dorn and Monaco there. They closed up on them rapidly. And he threw that thing to the outside and just went with it. That was a very clutch move there by the 18. I mean, he did a good job there too of breaking up the Broke Boys Garage teammates, got around them. That was a very masterful drive there from Duncan Ward, and I mean it's cool to see Beacon Quantum there, despite the struggles they've had. Put that 18 truck back in victory lane, and the 14 of Matthew Burnett in 7th place. That's an awesome day for them. Championship wise, I mean, it's close. It's a lot closer than it was when we started the day. I think the scales of, how we've seen the intermediate tracks play out this year definitely still favor Blaine. Obviously, we know Kocsmar is a big threat going to Homestead, but the likelihood of both of them are... You're going to need Blaine to have a disaster. I don't know if that's going to happen. But it's going to be very close. It's going to be very competitive. I mean, it's Homestead. Anything we've seen some crazy things happen before.
And you want to know something? Nicholas Samudio is also going to have a mathematical chance going into Homestead as well if things happen to Blaine Keyes in that race. You got to think it's not guaranteed that Blaine's going to finish the race, though Blaine has had a very consistent season. You never know when a mechanical issue could happen. You never know when you get caught up in a wreck. You just don't know when something like that could happen, and we knew that going into this race, and it did happen to Blaine. Blaine had a terrible race, finishing 30th. But Kocsmar also did not really take advantage of that the way he should have, and he finished in the 20th position right there. And then you have Nicholas Samudio finishing 11th in this race. We kind of overlooked Samudio this entire day, and that's a strong run for him right there. Going to gain 19 points there. And he's going to be, if I'm doing the math correctly, he's going to be only, 30 points behind going into the finale? So he still has a mathematical chance there.
It's not bad.
Bit of a stretch, but he still has an opportunity to get a title in a rating series. And he's been top 3 in all 3 of the rating series that we have done under this format. He's looking to be doing it for a 4th time come Christmas Day. But Blaine Keyes there getting caught up in that. He did not have the speed in that truck. But Leonard Kocsmar, who was almost 10th at one point, he was 11th at one point, could have closed that championship by single digits. Fell back. Pulled an SMU, had such a great opportunity at getting that win. And then they just let SMU run back let Clemson run back with the kickoff, and then Clemson wins the game. That's kind of what Leonard Kocsmar did right here. But it's not over yet for Leonard Kocsmar. One more race left to go. He's going to have himself 14 points to gain on Blaine Keyes. Blaine holds the tiebreaker, of course, though, because he's got the win. So Kocsmar's going to need at least 15 points on Blaine going in the Homestead, and that is a bit of a stretch considering how well Blaine Keyes has run this season, and considering that Blaine Keyes won that exact race a year ago. So we'll just have to see how that all ends up shaking out. But Duncan Ward gets the race victory here today. How about that for that team? And what are your thoughts on this race, and what are you looking forward to on Christmas Day? The finale race just around the corner, and we're going to have a good one on the 25th there with this 3-way championship fight going in the Homestead. And also you got the owner's title that closed in a little bit as well. The Evans-Ross team did close in a little bit on Velocity-Star. It's going to be a tight one going into that Wawa 250.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun at Talladega to see races come up here at the front of the field. And we saw that throughout the course of this race. Nice to see the Broke Boys Garage teammates have some really, really strong speed. Jeffrey Finn guy up here with a P4 in that OSC truck. That's impressive results there. Stover Motorsports, Roberto Crown Jr. kind of got screwed there by that accident, but it was a great day for that team despite that. I mean, Avery Alford P3. And then championship-wise, I mean, again, it's going to be close. It's going to take some crazy things to happen, in my opinion. But you never know. I mean, we've seen Rogel Dorn could come in. Rogel Dorn could come in there down at Homestead, dominate the race, and then anything goes for the rest of the field. So it should be a very exciting race. I think the Constructors is also going to be a ton of fun. I don't know the exact points total for that, but I would imagine that's got to be also within a reasonable margin, especially given what we've seen with where Troxel and Charette can sometimes fall in these pecking orders. So there's a lot up for grab at Homestead, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. And hey, it's going to be a great Christmas present for someone when we crown that Turkey Hill Truck Series championship. 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going up against the NFL, but Netflix is going to crash anyway, so you might as well just watch our race 5 p.m. Eastern Time, December 25th. Wednesday, December 25th, this Christmas Day here on AG the Channel. The final race of the calendar year. And what a year it has been on the channel. So many great races, and we're going to cap it off very nicely in a couple of weeks. Next Saturday, we got ourselves the Wawa Winter Invitational from Nazareth. Your last Wawa Cup Series race, Matt. The Christmas Eve Showdown, done by Caleb Rowe, is going to be on Christmas Eve, of course. That's going to be noon Eastern Time on Christmas Eve, and then the finale of the Turkey Hill Truck Series Christmas Day from Homestead Miami Speedway, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on AG the Channel. But thank you so much once again for joining me, Matt. I know we'll have you in the booth for the finale, so we look forward to having you for that one. A huge congratulations to Duncan Ward for getting the race victory here in this Cookout 250 at Talladega. And we'll have to see how this championship ends up shaking out. You'll see the points here in just a moment here. After 17 races, 1 race left to go on the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Duncan Ward, and I will see you guys later.